Alright, let's dive into this. The Miami Dolphins might be sitting at a rough 2-4 start, and yeah, they've got the worst offense in the league right now based on points per game, but don't get it twisted, Tyreek Hill isn't going anywhere. Despite some wild chatter, especially after Davante Adams made waves by asking for a trade from the Raiders, there's no indication that Miami's even thinking about trading Hill. That's not how this team is rolling, and Hill himself has been having some fun with it, messing with fans on social media, throwing in some lighthearted trolling about the whole situation. But let's be real, none of this is serious. Remember, the Dolphins just locked Hill down to a fresh deal in August. They tweaked his contract to the tune of 3 years, $90 million, and that deal keeps him in Miami until 2026. So, for anyone still wondering if Miami might flip him for something before the trade deadline, it's not happening. They aren't looking to shake things up like that right now. Now, Miami's season so far? It's been a mixed bag, and the big reason for that has been the absence of Tua Tagovailoa since Week 2, when he went down with a concussion against the Buffalo Bills. Without Tua, things have been rough. I mean, you can feel it, right? That offense just hasn't clicked. Tyler Huntley and Skylar Thompson have stepped in at quarterback, but let's face it, it hasn't worked. The numbers tell the story, under 20 points in 5 straight games, including the most recent 16-10 loss to the Indianapolis Colts. It's been a grind. The Dolphins are only putting up an average of 11.7 points per game, which is dead last in the NFL. Let that sink in, almost 18 points worse than their 2023 average. And we all know, this is a team that should be much better than that. Last season, they were scoring 29.2 points per game. What's happened since then? Injuries, inconsistency, and a lack of rhythm. It's been tough for Dolphins fans to watch. You feel like every game, they're just searching for something that works on offense, but it's been elusive. But here's the thing, there's a glimmer of hope coming out of Miami. Head coach Mike McDaniel announced that Tua is set to practice this week, and the plan is for him to get back on the field Sunday against the Arizona Cardinals. Could this be the spark Miami desperately needs? It's hard not to think so. Tua's presence alone changes the whole dynamic of the offense. He's the guy who makes everything run smoother, and with him under center, it gives the Dolphins a chance to get back on track. And let's talk about Tyreek Hill for a second. With Tua coming back, you have to expect Hill's role in the offense is going to ramp up significantly. In the last game against the Colts, Hill had just 1 catch for 8 yards. That's not what you want to see from a player of his caliber. His 49 receiving yards per game this season is the lowest average he's hit since his rookie year back in 2016. For a player who's known for his explosive playmaking, that's a huge drop-off. It's frustrating to watch, but again, without Tua, the entire offense has been out of sync. Still, it's not all doom and gloom. Even with the rough start and defensive struggles, the Dolphins are only 1.5 games out of a playoff spot in the AFC. They've got a 2-4 record, sure, but look at what's coming up, a winnable game against the Arizona Cardinals this weekend. And beyond that, the schedule offers more opportunities to right the ship. If they can just figure out how to get the offense back on track, if Tua can stay healthy and Hill can get more involved, the Dolphins could absolutely turn this thing around. It's not like they're out of the race just yet. So yeah, the first 6 weeks haven't gone the way anyone in Miami hoped, but this is far from over. Hill's still a key part of the offense, and Tua's return could be exactly what they need to start stacking up some wins. You have to wonder, could this be the turning point? Sunday's game against the Cardinals might give us some answers. Keep an eye on how Tua looks, how the offense flows, and whether Hill starts putting up the kind of numbers we all know he's capable of. There's a lot riding on these next few weeks, but the pieces are there for Miami to bounce back. Let's see if they can pull it together.